to Block Party, another Victory Monday or Victory Tuesday. I guess it's Tuesday today. I'm your host, Mike Wahle. Thanks for watching. You can find me at Mike Wahle16 on Twitter, Process to Perform on Instagram. You can find our Process to Perform channel on YouTube. If you want to check out all the videos, we do a ton of breakdowns, film analysis, player evals, etc. So check that channel out. And of course, you can find us audio version anywhere you get your podcasts. Our show is sponsored by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, matchup breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. The largest catalog of odds and everything from football, Major League Baseball playoffs, NHL, NBA, to political props. When the game's over, head over to the online casino, get in a game of blackjack, play some poker, or maybe unwind with one of the over 150 slots games. Head to that website today, BetOnline, to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here. And like I said at the byline, guys, we do not apologize for winning. The Packers are on a great win streak right now. They pull off a last-minute win against the tough Jaguars team. We knew they were going to play for Dougie P. They came out and scored 27 points, tied it at the end. This is not the way you want to finish the game if you're part of the defense. I love the way this defense plays, though. We'll look at it a little bit more. 30-27. Mike Wahle comes in the game, pulls out a really good play design. We'll show it on tape to Jaden Reed. They end up kicking the field goal to win the game at the end. The game should not have been as close. I mean, we're talking about from a straight talent standpoint. The Packers have more talent. I think they have a better coaching staff. They have a better offensive playbook. They have a better defensive playbook. It should not have been as close as it was. You had some injuries. Things happen. Certainly, Mike Wahle does get his the big second win of the season. And the Packers, this iteration of the Packers is one of the oddest teams I've ever watched because you just don't feel like they're playing well offensively. And then they go for, 300 yards. They grab 170 yards on the ground. And again, this is against what I think is a really Jacksonville front. Now, we'll see that maybe playing some of the injured guys back into the game, their middle linebacker 23 in particular, maybe didn't do them so many favors. But listen, Jordan Love's banged up. It looks like he pulled a groin. He finishes his day 14-22, 195 yards, has a pick on a play that I think he changed the play 2 or 3 times, and it just, honestly, a real bad decision. Cost some points. Of course, David McKinney goes and has to pick the very next series, so they get the ball back. They end up scoring. But this game just isn't what you want it to be from a consistency standpoint, a physicality standpoint, at least on the offensive side. Mike Wahle comes in. All of a sudden, it feels like the Packers get a little bit of life to him. He goes 4 for 5, has a TD pass to Tucker Kraft, who has another really good day. 3 for 78 with the touchdown. Some good blocking in there. We'll highlight as well. Let's see. Mike Wahle scoots for another 23 yards on the ground, including a big conversion, I think, on third down. But for me, the story of the day, offensively at least, is Josh Jacobs. So Josh Jacobs is like becoming the king of the jump cut. Jump cuts his way to 127 yards, 25 carries, 2 touchdowns. This is maybe the game for me, at least, and I'm sure other people feel differently. He took the team on his back the way Aaron Jones used to do. This is the first game where I went, okay. Listen, he's had these great, I think he's top 5, top 6 in rushing yards for the league. But this is one of those games where we've talked about making chicken salad a couple times on this tape or on this show. He is working so hard to get those extra yards that add up over the course of the game. And they needed to beat this Jacksonville team. This team was not playing well coming into this game. I know they just want to get the Patriots, but everybody beats the Patriots. Jacobs was really the answer the Packers needed on a day where the offense, again, it's not like they're struggling. They're scoring 30 points. They put up 170 yards of rushing offense, which is absurd. I think they put up over 300 yards in total, which is these are just like really, really good numbers. But again, you watch some of this stuff and you're going, you just don't know. If you looked at it frame by frame instead of just watching it on TV, you go, man, how do they score all these points? How are they getting those yards? But hey, listen, I got so much tape today that we're just going to get right into it. All right, first things first, give credit where credit is due. I think this is a really good front. Now, I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars made a huge mistake in not starting 51. They started 20. 23 is their starter, but 51's been their backup. 51, I don't know their names. I don't want to screw them up. 51 has been playing really, really high-level football, And he played this game. And, of course, he had mistakes like everybody else. But I just think from a physical presence standpoint, maybe he's a better partner to 33 than 23 is. Let's talk about the Packers. Okay, we got 2 double teams here. This is absolute clinic. This is early in the game, maybe second play. Look at that. Okay, you're moving 2 good defensive tackles off the ball. Your tight ends are doing a job against Trayvon Walker, one-on-one on the other side versus Josh Allen Hines with a hyphen. Okay, and this is exactly what you want. You're getting 4 or 5 yards of movement yardage. So Josh Jacobs can just put his head down and run right downhill, and he's not getting touched until he gets to 4 to 5 yards. That is a fantastic job. You just think, like, okay, if they can do that consistency, knowing that the Jacksonville Jaguars will play a light box from time to time, you feel really good about their odds of running the entire day. Really, really good way to start a football game. I was shocked by this, and I'm just showing this turns into a 5-man box. So they go motion across. They take 33, take them out of the box, and now you got 23 who's already out-leveraged by the right guard. I think they ended up getting a holding call on this, but yeah, I mean, I'm just sure you're kind of showing, like, I don't know how they game plan. This didn't make a lot of sense because they didn't have any safety coming down and filling the channel. And so they just run, middle outside zone as a 5-man box. And this is taking candy from a baby right here. I mean, that when you watching a play and there isn't a safety that is even looking to make a tackle for 15 yards, you just think certainly something's gone horribly wrong from the defensive standpoint. And that's what all this motion does. This is all the little smoke and mirrors that Matt LaFleur shows up with this offense. That's what it does, particularly when you got Jaden Reed and those guys that are getting the ball in the backfield. This is why under center play action pass is always going to be the best version, because you can run these. Some people might just call this a sail 7, but he's starting from the bottom of the numbers, talking about Romeo Doubs, goes inside to the hash mark and then breaks this thing back out. And you got to have some serious steps. So you got under center, get the good sell, get the tight end in the flat to take away the flat defender, and he breaks this all the way back and runs away from the safety, takes it flat. You could take it high, but the safety's there, so he takes it flat. What a play. 23 is a middle linebacker on a football team. Middle linebacker traditionally, I know they're not 250 pounds anymore. It's not Jeremiah Trotter Platon out there, but Jesus H. You put him on the end line of scrimmage, so you have a 5-man front. You're tight end, especially these days. And listen, Tucker Kraft, what a great job he's doing. But if you're the middle linebacker and the tight end comes out, second-year guy, and just absolutely dog walks you like he does right here, I mean, you're stealing. You're stealing because you can't get in a 5-man front and you call it a true front anymore. We got a great job by Jaden Reed going and attacking the safety. Obviously, you have the double team up to the second level by the center and left guard. But good Lord, Tucker Kraft, just take him for a walk, why don't you? So they bring the slot. They're trying to slow down the Packers. Okay, the tradition, everybody hears this on TV. You throw it to where the guy came from. The caveat to that is you got the B line by the safety taking it down. So Romeo Doubs just goes and does a quick in-breaker here. They run more of a slant. Bop. Okay, and now, I mean, this could go house. You just, stop it right there. Catch it in stride. Maybe he's running a step faster. This is a great adjustment that not every team makes. A lot of teams will just get the ball out of your hands as fast as you can. We'll just take the tackle. We'll go for 5-6 yards. Especially when you're coming from the slot, you have the confidence that you may be able to do a 3-step cut, get that slant, and get a ton of yards out of it. Fantastic job. This pick is just kind of a weird look. So the thing here with the pick is he checked this play 2 or 3 times. So they got before he snapped it. So they have a trips look here. And defensively, it looked initially like they may be playing 2-man. It was just an odd throw. Not really good separation by the corner. You just wonder what they checked out of here in order to get to this play. All right, we got 2 backs in the backfield. Run Jacobs out of there. I just respect the dive here. And Sean Ryan, played I think a much better game than the last 2 weeks. I know that Jordan Morgan got a couple snaps as well, but I just love. So he goes the wrong direction. We've all done this, man. If you played football, you've done this. So you're like, and the first step you take and Zach Tom hits you in the right shoulder, you're like, oh no, I went the wrong way. And this is blocked perfectly on the play side. And so you just go for it. Yard sale, buddy. 51. I mean, 33 cuts through is exactly what we know he's prone to do. He's that kind of attacking defender. But been there, done that, man. Tough. Love the dive. So they go back to the well here with a very similar route. Now he runs this one a little bit higher. I think this is on the PI. Break it in all the way into the hash. And then we can break this one high because the safety's away. And listen, this is the best play in football is throw the ball up and get a PI. Now, corner thinks he's safe. He's not. They get the ball right there. They score their first touchdown of the day. We go gun, two backs out of the backfield. Now, great job by Tucker Kraft here. Both guys are looking at the quarterback. I think this is where Jordan LaPoles is growing, by the way. Both guys were hitting the quarterback. So what does he do? He just slips behind, plays side defender, puts his hand up immediately. And there's the thing about Tucker Kraft. Like this little cut right here, it's a big deal. And then holding this guy for 1, 2, 3, 4, 25 more yards. Fantastic job. Fantastic job. On these kind of plays, this is Dobbs again on the sideline. And I thought this was probably the best throw and catch of the day, maybe. Certainly the best catch. You just need time here. And they bring the blitz. Great job picking up. Look at that pocket. Safety's on the other side. So this is a true one-on-one. Double moves. Now this corner, it's interesting when you watch, it's like it's easy to sit here and say, like, oh, bad job. This corner, when he breaks out right here, like he can't really think that's an outcut. Because like there's no reason to throw that ball based on down and distance. You're not going to get to the first down. But fantastic throw and catch, man. Really, really good. So we go motion across. I love this. If you're not going to go under center, you pull that guard. You see all three linebackers step up. And behind it, you got your fastest guy on the team who's just going to run an in-cut against a corner who's given outside leverage and playing 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. Right? So this is, again, these plays for me are almost stealing because you pull it in Jenkins. Those guys have to respect it because they have been running that play. They get really nosy towards the line of scrimmage. There's no way they can make up for the speed that 9 has. And again, you're going to play off a Christian Watson, and you're going to give him the in cut because you don't want to get beat deep. Love these plays. You see the Lions, who we're going to see next week. You see those you run them all the time. So this is what we call a wrong shoulder read. So Trayvon Walker, who has just absolutely annihilated guards, he decides instead of just taking this guy head-to-head, stays on the line of scrimmage and gives his up shoulder, which we call the wrong shoulder, essentially boxes it in. And so we get a log block from Elton Jenkins, and that means that Tucker Kraft's got to wrap around to get to that linebacker. Josh Jacobs bounces this, and we end up having a really good little run because – quite frankly, Tucker Kraft does such a great job of reading this, getting around to 51. Kind of takes 2 there. Backside linebacker has to make the play. Really nice job. Like, I'm all for this. Again, Mike's coming back from an injury. Mike, linebacker. They've got their guys in there. So we go motion across. They want that 5 down front again. He is, for a linebacker to be that wide, because you're already giving up 50 pounds to Rashid. So it's like, I want to give 50 pounds and 5 yards. So we see the backside here as they move across. And they're going split flow. And it's like, to be honest, Tucker Kraft could have just led on 51. He's so far away. If I'm in the film room, we got palms up moment again for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but hey, we'll take it. Look how hard this guy works. He breaks 51's tackle on the inside, not the outside, which is nuts to begin with. Then he spins out for another 2-3 yards. Gotta love the way he runs, man. So Malik Williams gets in the game. I love this. This is the let's go moment. So obviously he could throw the ball right here, give it to arguably our most elusive runner with the football. Gimme. And now what is he? Turns into a blocker, finds a guy. Listen, it's every player should be expected to make that play, but not every player makes that play. You love to see it. Fantastic. All in to win. Great execution on stunt here, particularly by the left tackle. So there's a guy outside. This is a read that they've seen already. They know that they're gonna have a step inside, and you can kind of read the defensive end if you've been watching tape on him. So they try to cross face, and what does he do? He catches it and gets vertical. So the separation between 5 and 41 is such that there's a vertical separation and there's a horizontal separation. So it gives the running back a great time, and then maybe the best jump cut of the year, or whatever we want to call that. But holy hell, air. I mean, let's watch it again. Let's just watch it again. Watch this safety dive on air, man. That's tough. What a run. Christian Watson, nice job. Simply an effective play, right? So you get the fake, and they take the tight ends and they switch them. Just switch responsibilities. Act like you're getting the hell beat out of you. The corner dives in at what we call the F tight end because he's got him man. And so they just switch this out, and they walk in with their wide tight end. Now, I'm not sure about all this, but hey, what a play call. That play design's fantastic, man. It's so simple. You just go, oh, they've run man, so we just switch responsibilities. Well, how do we sell that? Oh, let's just act like our tight end's getting the hell beat out of them. Will they buy that? Yeah, of course they'll buy it. You know, it's like, oh, okay. It just makes so much sense. Look at the space that this motion does. So they come motioning across, and they release the tight ends to the outside. And so that does to the 91, the left defensive end, that makes them chase. And 51's just in no man's land. It's like, is this right now he's thinking, is this a keeper? Is this a run? Where the hell's the ball? And by the time he figures it out, you got 6 yards of space. You got to come in and make that tackle. That's a really, really hard job. Now we've got guys shooting gaps here. This is what I think Josh Jacobs is, you know, the amount of times he has to make a play in the backfield. He makes 3 people miss, runs through the tackle for 6 more yards. I mean, it might be the run of the day, honestly. I knew he had a great run, but like you just talk about making chicken salad. Unbelievable. 52 is a good player. Just catches Jenkins with his inside stab, man. Again, if you ever played football, you've been there. But it's just like the worst feeling in the world because you come off, you're like, I got and you just feel getting pressed up and turn. It's like, please don't throw me on my back. Please don't throw me on my back. So I just love the idea of this play. So the concept was, you know, they're 27-27. They just need a big play. What do? They go, all right, what if we run the old tight end delay, which like in high school, they would have the tight end fall down on the ground, and then they'd run the keeper and they do the throwback. But we just call it tight end delay for short, okay? What if they run the tight end delay with our speed guy? So instead of running it with the tight end, we'll just kind of do the same thing. So under center, we do a little waggle the other way, turn around, and oh, there's wide ass open. Great play call. Great play call. They just are. They're fun to watch. Sometimes it's perplexing. You think, I think what happens is, and even I'm doing this now. Sometimes when you watch football, you watch the defense and you see the boxes light, and you just go, you just think like every play should work. And so then when they don't work, it's almost like. It's like, what the hell's wrong with everybody? But then you turn around again, 170 yards on the ground, 30 points. Like these numbers are so good. And I think the only thing right now you're seeing like the Detroit Lions, who we're playing next week, and quite frankly have a better roster, I think, top to bottom, particularly on their offense their line is so good. They've 2 running backs that they're so, Jared Goff might be the MVP. They're so good. The Packers roster is really good as well. Listen, the Detroit Lions were bad for a long time, so they have earned the right to have a good roster. But they're scoring 40 points a game. It seems like every week now. So if you're not scoring 40, it's like the comparisons are like everything's just different in football, the way you think about things. But man, these Packers are continually putting a ton of points and a ton of yards up on the board. It's fun to watch, fun as hell to watch. All right, let's watch some defense because, quite frankly, this might be the first time, as long as I can remember, certainly since 1998 when I started really, being a part of the organization and following these guys, that the defense is more fun to watch than the offense for the first time ever. These guys they play hard. This linebacker crew, for all the mistakes they make in this game, God bless America, they play hard. I love it. All right, let's watch Preston Smith. First of all, just pummel Trevor Lawrence. Got the backup tackling. Cam Robinson's hurt. 72. Don't turn early, bud. This is what you call a lookout block. All right? It's like, oh, man. Look out. Look out. Oh, throw away. Fantastic. We're bringing both guys up. Listen, I don't have the end zone copy of this because I'm an idiot, but Rashawn Gary opens this guy up at level and rushes inside. So just watch Rashawn Gary. Upfield hard. Okay, inside stab. Lifts him up. Look where he is. This is exactly what he could have been doing the entire year. Keep doing exactly this. Use the speed and then take that. You so strong through the hips, man. Forklift, open that guy up, compress the pocket, get the pressure. I know you don't get a sack right here, but I mean, that's great football. Great football. Team defense. What am I saying? First of all, Eric Wilson and Isaiah McDuffie played fantastic football. I mean, it's not perfect, but they're playing fantastic football. The way they fill, the violence. Who the hell is Eric Wilson? Oh, I don't know. He's a really, really good player for the Green Bay Packers right now. I mean, I didn't know. You remember him last year a little bit, but, you're not thinking he's going to be part of the future. And he just is. He's playing really, really well. So, backside, I think this is Carl Brooks. Carl Brooks is so tight that the Jaguars make a call to basically go man, and they're going to pull their attack around and try to find Isaiah McDuffie. This is asinine, okay? Because of the team speed and the defensive speed at the linebacker level. Look at the way they sniffed this out and just gone. That tackle's trying to make that play. Are you kidding me? Plus, Preston Smith does a good job of jamming up 72 again all day. Just ugly. Okay, listen. I love the crossover. We saw this from Myles Garrett last year. You love the crossover, but don't cross over your own teammate here. Because it's got to look good right now. Now it's got to look good. Oops. It's like, if you're going to do that, man, it's got to look good. Good win by Carl Brooks, though. Way to capitalize. Why am I saying that? On the bottom here, we have an inside release. I'm sure that receiver is supposed to outside release. And because he does an outside release, we got McKinney staying tight. He sees two. He doesn't have to worry about that backside guy. Steps right in front. He looks like he's reading the play there. Fantastic job. I mean, he's so good. We saw a lot of snaps from Edgerrin Cooper. He had, I think, numerically had the best day of anyone. He had a sack. He had a forced fumble, which is obviously that stuff happens for a number of reasons, but you still got to make the play. I think he had 9 tackles. He had a tackle for loss. Really, really good football day. Still a work in progress. What you can't get over is he jumps off the screen of he makes a mistake here. Look how quick he is. He makes such a mistake here that the center doesn't even know who to block. I mean, watch this. He's gone. And the center is literally going, okay, well, I guess who should I get next? Because he's on the wrong side of the football. But talk about a talent to work with. Jeez, Pete. What did I do? All right, boys. One more. This is what happens when you're a guy with all thumbs figuring out the technology over here. Anyway, super fast play speed. Center has no idea what to do. We got a trips look, really tight ends attached or hipped off. Really got quad to that side. They show. And now this time, same kind of look. We got an outside release on the backside receiver here. They got the tight end coming out to take the flat defender. And now Xavier McKinney's running to the middle, has his eyes on that crosser, but really isn't, with Trevor Lawrence has arm for days. Like, realistically, not going to be able to turn around and make this play in time. And actually, to be fair, the receiver cuts that even flatter, probably an easier throw and catch. A lot of chunk play. I think there were 10 chunk plays in this game. think I have that somewhere. There was 10 chunk plays in this game. Let me see if I can get my notes real quick before we do this. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, so 21 to 32, 308 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick. 4 yards per carry, less than 102 yards rushing. What I want to, the biggest thing is, as we watched this game, they only had 1 sack, and it was the Cooper sack. Struggling in 1v1 pass rush. Now, I'll say this, and I just showed one. I just showed 2. We did win early a couple times. Sometimes you win too early, and the quarterback knows to get rid of the ball. I think Trevor Lawrence does a good job of getting rid of it. But, we had that one day where we had like 7 or 8 sacks, and you just don't see it. You just don't see the accumulation. You have to say, though, that you can't be mad at the amount of times we got in the backfield. It's just, can we win a little cleaner? Sometimes you're too strong. So Devontae Wyatt beats up the guard and the tackle so bad he throws the guard on the ground and actually throws himself out of his own gap. So Eric Wilson shoots his gap. Is that Wooden or Wyatt? Either way, he just dump trucks the right guard, but he owns up gap back side. They go for a good run. McKinney somehow hangs onto the tackle to hold him there. I think Trevor Lawrence scores a couple plays later. Love this. This is Green Bay Packer football right here. If you're in the locker room, this is a play that I'm showing over and over. First of all, Kenny Clark does a great job of freeing up Rashawn Gary by running the TE set. Rashawn comes in and absolutely levels Trevor Lawrence. But then on the back end of this, so if you're watching this and they got the boomsticks out at the sideline, you hear the thud of the pads when he hits the quarterback. Then Nixon gets the flat defender right here and absolutely just good old violence, man. Set the tone, boys. You got to set the tone. Oh, just dumps him. Love it. Got our wires crossed here a little bit. So they decide to bring the slot and the safety and the corner. Now, I don't know what the corner's doing right here. The corner right now should be high. And he's not. So he puts all the onus on the free safety. And these are those plays that happen in football. You throw this ball up, you think, okay, this isn't. I mean, it's kind of triple coverage, but there's a 4th guy in the shot, and you go, holy hell, this shouldn't be a play. But really, really good throw on the back end on the front end of this. Excuse me, the corner's just got to read this a little bit faster and not be flat-footed. Get back into space, especially in 2-minute, man. I think they set up for a field goal there, so we got under center. It's a really good play design here. So by dropping down and looking like he's going to block Xavier McKinney, the receiver right here, as soon as Jair sees this, man, he just drops, takes off. And now in the flat, so McKinney gets out of there as well, but now you're in the flat. It's like there's nobody there. And so you might have a flat defender. Listen, there's rules and this and that. Who should be there, whatever. Like sometimes it's a good play design, man. They make a good play, test you a little bit, test your eyes. I'm guessing both those guys have places they needed to be a little bit faster, but couldn't tell you for sure. Got to take the good with the bad. So what am I talking about? So Cooper's going the wrong direction. So honestly, I have no idea what his read is. There's no ghost rusher here. There's like a ghost motion. There's nothing. He just, for whatever reason, he's just going the wrong way. This will be another player like 76 is like, where is he? Where should I be blocking? And then we got Williams gets hurt. He pulls his hamstring. So we got Javon Bullard back playing safety today, and he missed a couple tackles, there's a couple series of plays here where you go, man, were you studying the playbook well enough last night? Some of it's not his fault, but we haven't seen this guy really miss this alley tackle here. Really, that's a big one for me. Get another 10, 12 yards. This is a tough one. So we got a deep safety, but really you're getting a 12-yard head start. They're going to run 2 goes on the outside, and then they're just going to break this out into the 15-yard out. And I mean, he's wide ass open, but I have to be honest. This is a really, really, I don't understand how you play defense against this. If you're one-on-one, 12 yards off, and the guy has a 2-way go with the entire field, because he could have run the entire field on the other side as well. He showed that, came back out, kind of like the sale 7 we showed Romeo Dobbs. But that's just a really, really, For me, that's a really, really tough route. You don't want to put guys in that position. I just don't think it's a position that we're going to have a lot of success in. There's a reason people are trying to run that, right? Now, this one, on the other hand, you got to move for your guy here if you're the linebacker. So we're just standing. Get some depth, man. Get some depth because, listen, you're beat on the backside. He goes for the fake. There's no question about it. But if you get a little bit more depth, the ball's got to go in higher. I mean, the lane couldn't be more obvious for the quarterback here. This is too easy. And so I'm not, Javon Bullard's listen, sometimes you get beat. He got beat. But also at the linebacker level, Cooper, get yourself a little bit depth. Don't just stand flat-footed and watch. Move back into the end zone. That's clearly where they're throwing the football. I'm not saying it would have made a difference. I'm just saying here we're all about making the good habits. Big time play here. And this is just, for me, this is just Trevor Lawrence getting greedy. I mean, throw the ball. It's just a third down play, so he's probably not going to get to the sticks. But Devontae Wyatt ends up making this play. Cooper makes some plays in the game where you go, and this is the thing about football or any sport. If you get the sack fumble, I think this is the next play right here. He just plays Tampa 2 and runs down the slot receiver. After he actually shows he's going to go, and you make plays like this, and it's like, oh, no matter what, he's playing now. And the speed and the aggression. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Like he's ready to play. And you take the good with the bad or the bad with good, however you want to say it. You just play the guy because he's too talented not to play. I don't know what happened to the guy's shoulder. It looks like it's separated, but he got his hand in there or just getting back there to make contact and forcing that, and because landing on the shoulder and all that extra impact, whether he hit the ball out or not, just you can't sign me up to do it. I know that much. Talent. Well, fast, huh? Yep. I just glazed right through this. Glossed right through this. This is just one of those plays. Just got to make the tackle there. This is kind of crunch time for the game. McDuffie ends up, Wilson McDuffie have to end up making some space for their guy. I think the really good thing is, though, you can play three linebackers with Cooper in there and just feel like you can play out in the slot. Now, I know he misses that, but he's not going to miss a lot of them. This is such a vet move. Okay, so this vet, he did this last week. They ran in a 5-man box. I showed it on our tape. And the linebacker walks up, and all he does is he takes both hands and he bats the hands down. So McDuffie's going to try to punch and escape from this guy. And all he does, he waits. He bats both arms down. McDuffie yard sales. It's a good play by that vet, man. That's crafty center, man. That's Mike Flanagan move right there. Listen, you have to do it. Fair enough. I'd rather just go all in, go zero. But these game zone drops are the worst. Look at this. Okay, Preston Smith is dropping into coverage. Running back runs a little Texas girl out, gets an extra 10 yards because what the hell is Preston Smith going to do? Oh, I'm sorry. It's like you go to the film room and you know what he's doing? He's sitting in the back going, told you. Like, I can't cover him, You asked me to go cover a wide receiver. Tyreek Hill comes over here and says, hey, cover Tyreek. Okay, I might as well just go sit in a lawn chair and smoke a cigar. The game's over. Not a great way to finish this ball game. I think you're asking a lot. So the kid's an unbelievable athlete, talking about Cooper here. But it's like, if you're not going to bend this into the middle of the field, you're going to stay up the hash. Like, you're not going to get there. I mean, a good throwing ball with a good quarterback, you just put him in a position to be unsuccessful. I think that's you're just asking a lot. That's really, really tough. I mean, the Bears used to do this all the time, walking up the A-gaps, and I love it. Like, I love the aggression, and maybe they are good enough athletes to do it. But in a situation like this, and the team has a momentum. This team hasn't believed in anything for a long time, and they think they can beat the Green Bay Packers right now. And they're driving to tie this ball game up. And then here we get our wires crossed again. Evan Ingram ends up out jumping everybody, but really, so you get beat off the line of scrimmage. We're not on the same page. Who's guarding? Who's on first right here? And Nixon, Evan Ingram is a really good tall receiver. He's not a tight end. He puts a move on him early on. But you're throwing in triple coverage. You want to be able to finish the game, I think, defensively a little better than they did. I'm sure that's what they talked about when they had their meetings like yesterday. But look, I think that puts you at 6-2 now. You're going against the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears, 2 huge games. These are going to be a lot of fun to watch. Both of those teams have some belief, certainly. The Lions might be the class of the NFC, and this is going to be a fun week. Listen, we'll do a preview show. I think for me, if you go, it'll be interesting if Jordan. I don't know what the Jordan Love situation is. If he's got the groin or the MC, whatever it is, if he's out, it really, in a weird way, this team has really rallied around Malik Willis, and you just feel really good about Josh Jacobs. Aiden Hutchinson's not part of the equation over there right now. Certainly, they have some really, really good players. I love their linebacking group. I think everybody's healthy. I know that Rodriguez had to come out of the game last week, but I think all their linebackers are healthy aside. Akeem is healthy. So they've got talent on the defensive side, but they're giving up points as well. It's just a question of, this Hafley versus Ben Johnson, a friend of mine who's just turning out to be an absolute damn genius, computer science major, by the way. A lot of funny stories about Ben. Ben Johnson's one of the best humans I've ever been around. You can't help but love the guy and be really happy for him. But he's a tough opponent right now, especially with the talent they have. They have so much talent, but the way that they use their splits and everything, we'll do a breakdown of them or later in the week. The way that team uses their splits, uses their motions, uses their just little cookie crumbs all over the field is a perfect match for the talent that they have at different positions. So be a fun game to watch, I think, from the defensive standpoint of the Green Bay Packers. How are they going to attack that? How are they going to get in Goff's face, get him off the spot, get him off time, because he's certainly not as good when he can't plant his feet. Going to be a fun week. We'll talk about it later, guys. You can always hit me up, Mike Wahle 68 on Twitter, Process to Perform on Instagram. Thank you again to our sponsor, Bet Online. YouTube.